is maddening.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 21 carries, 97 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now. Number 3 in the league in rushing within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that, too.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Stopped short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. And just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On second down, Elliott. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Down carry by Elliott, and he stopped immediately there. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. And
it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. They'll set up a throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? 1st and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
A give to Elliott. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of...
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. They'll look to throw. Powers through. And that is incomplete.
Yeah, very smart play right there. Pocket collapsing around him. Love the way he moved around a little bit and avoided the sack.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Here we go now.
And they'll run it here. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Connecting here with DJ Shark. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. He's to the 10. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25.
He's got a man, complete. Fights through, and now a crease. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 54 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
The give is to Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. In on the stop, it was Travarius Moore.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw. Dancing to his left. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
He'll drop to throw. And He's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
They're going to look to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And his kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
All right, here we go.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tyquan Lewis makes the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And they'll go on the ground. Open space inside the 10. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And this one is right through. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
Here we go now.
He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for second down. So we are at halftime here in downtown. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll lead here to a third down.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? the better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
All right, here we go. 3, 9.
And they'll run it here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Set.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
Leopard. Leopard.
They'll drop the throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. And on the ground they go with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now let's go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
I certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. And they'll go on the ground. So give them the first down, 1st and goal after a pickup of 4, and the decision to go for it pays off.
Well, when you got a running back who's already gone over 100 yards for the game, you can bet he'll be involved on 4th and short. He's been tough for this defense to handle all game long, and he converts here to keep the drive moving.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode, and it stiffened.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on and they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll look to throw here. Fighting his way through contact. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw here. Shelling through the defense. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Here we go now.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Right back to him on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we scored touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And he's got it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. As his guys are in for 6, and the Falcons cut into that lead.
first and goal, forget running the football, forget establishing anything. Just put it in the end zone with the pass for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's the definition of catching the defense off guard there. They weren't expecting that.
And that totally goes against type, doesn't it? When you think first and goal from the 1, you're thinking running play.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5.
Well, partner, since this new two-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10.
3-19! 3-19!
And he comes back with one complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Complete. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Shakes off the sand, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.